about that. Come on, we can see.
We made it. I'm gonna record the. Here's the food truck. Yummy. Authentic Mexican. And here's a little country store. Here's a little country store. Just what we want. So we're gonna sit back here with the rest of the folk. Okay, here we are at Bynum country store, front porch. And that's where the band's gonna be playing, or the duo. It's a cute little country store they have here. And I don't know where to sit. So much to choose from. I think I'd like to sit right here. There's a fiddle, a guitar. Help me with my coat?
Sir, you driving the Corolla?
Yeah.
We may have turned the light on inside.
Okay. So I left my light on in the car. And the gentleman was nice enough to tell me my little light on in the car is on. I don't want my battery to wear out. Now it looks like back there they have another stage. I guess when the weather is nice and warm, they have a stage. So yeah, I see my lights on. Let me go shut this light off. Boy, I didn't lock my car up neither. Oh yeah, he's absolutely right. Okay. Well, he saved me from a dying battery. That was nice. Well, I just ordered from Taco Horatio. I ordered a beef burrito with cheese on it. Beef burrito with cheese. That's all I need. It's not too bad, the weather out here. The weather's kind of nice. I said it's about 65 degrees. No, I'm at 60 degrees. I'm gonna let them go in there and make that stuff up and go back inside. Kind of chilly. Look at some more of these things they have. I don't know if they sell these things or the kids come here and play. I have no idea what this store is all about. Oh, the old bench. No clue.
6'8", 280 pounds.
No clue at all. is my dinner. I'm not too familiar with Mexican. But let's see what's on the inside. Give me a second. And that's Jenny's dinner. So let's see what I got going on in the inside here. Let me cut it open.
It's just soft cheese to it. It's Mexican cheese. It's salt and stirs.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, me too.
Beef. Okay, that's what's on the inside. Beef. It's exactly what I want. Not too spicy. No fancy stuff in there. Let me see how it tastes. Hungry. And here's the crowd getting bigger. Nice crowd. My kind of crowd. Nice and wholesome people. Oh, let me get some food in me.
Ouch.
Okay.
Stand-up night, that's on Wednesdays. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. It's like the choir showed up tonight. If you are searching, come on in. We're all on this journey that starts within. If you got a burden, come lay it on down. Raise up your voices as we gather around. Here we go. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. If you are joyful for your concern, come share your story. The chalice flame burns. If your heart is broken, you've been disowned, come join our circle. Turn off your phones. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. Well, welcome to the Bynum front porch, everybody. My name is Eric Bynum, and I'm your host tonight. I'm the producer of the Winter Music Series. We're going to be taking a break in January, and then we'll be back with the Mooning You first week in February. So while you're setting your cell phones on mute, you can go ahead and put that in your calendar. Now, Bynum Front Porch is not just a great music venue. We're also a non-for-profit organization. They donate money to high school arts programs. And admission's free tonight, but there's going to be a hat coming around, so a percentage of that money is going to go to dance, arts, choral programs at the high school. And speaking of high schools, that's my son on sound back there. And his name is Zane, and we have Addie as our stage manager tonight, and they're both theater tech kids over at the local high school, so think about that. I have no idea where I am in this song, but that's okay. So we also have a summer music series here, and it's every Friday night at 7 o'clock from May through the end of August, and it's always free. And our sponsors tonight are, who's our sponsors tonight, Chuck? Oh, Christmas trees. There's a Christmas tree out there, out front on the porch, and there's some wreaths, and it can be yours for a small donation. If you're thinking, damn, I haven't bought a Christmas tree yet, well, tonight's your night. And there's merchandise back there too for our featured artists. Just think about the joy on a child's face waking up to a Joe Newberry and April Verch CD under the Christmas tree. And I stole that line from Joe, and I hope he doesn't mind. Thank you. Did I forget anything? Sponsors. Yes, the Christmas trees are our sponsor tonight. AARP and Susie Crate. You get a shout out. And storytelling. Now and again. What's that? Oh yeah, the bathrooms are in the corner, in case you're wondering. And now you're ready for me to get off the stage. Let me finish the song. If you are running, you got the right to seek sanctuary, guided by the light. If you hear that calling, come join the fight, marching for justice, candles lit in the night. One more time. Whoever you are, whomever you are, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. Just that last line now. You are welcome here. Oh, that's beautiful. Bring the harmonies now. You are welcome here. Okay, last time. Big finish. Here we go. You are welcome here. Very good. There's some seats open up front here if those of y'all sitting way in the back there want to get a little closer. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason you came here are to see two of my favorite people, Joe Newberry and April Verch. Welcome to the Bynum Front Porch. How about another hand for Eric Bynum? What a beautiful job.
is everybody tonight? Happy holidays, here's how we do it. If you say Happy Hanukkah, we say Happy Hanukkah. And if you say Merry Christmas, we'll say Merry Christmas. And if you say Happy Festivus, I'll say, what's that but Happy Festivus? We're so glad to be here. It's so nice to be someplace where when you say, hey, they say, hey. Oh, that feels so good. We'll start off with a couple of fiddle tunes, both titled Christmas Eve, one from the Oklahoma fiddler Dick Hutchinson, the other from a Kentucky banjo player named Zelma Bowles. Do you have enough room on the board to do that one alone? That's it.
Every year except that one year. And it's always a highlight for us. And every year we bring back our favorites, and then we usually have a couple of new things. And it's getting to the point where the show will soon be 3 hours long because we never want to cut any of the old ones. But don't worry, we did. We won't keep you here till midnight. But
Just 11.
It's just that all the tunes and songs are really special to us, kind of hold a special place in our hearts, and this one is one of my favorites, and if you don't know it, you will by the end of the song, and we hope that you'll join us. I'll let Joe tell you about it, because that's only fair, he wrote it.
I wrote this, I was on a holiday tour with our beloved late Pete Sutherland and Julie Glau, and we were in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and it was about this time of year, but it was a lot colder and a lot snowier. And we went into it was a beautiful old restored church that was the venue, and the snow was as tall as up to my knees and piled up against the door. And I had this thought, and I thought, snow falls round the manger, and love melts it away. I liked that thought. So after sound check, I wrote a song. I didn't perform it that night, but I wrote a song. And my late sister, Amy, was a pastor, a Lutheran pastor. And I knew on Saturday night when I got back to the hotel that she would still be working on her sermon, because the girl never went to school without wet hair in her whole life. So anyway, I called her up. I said, Amy, I've written a Christmas song. And she sighed. She actually sighed. She went, send me the lyrics. I think she thought it was about gumdrops and candy canes or something. So anyway, I emailed her the lyrics. She called me right back and she said, oh, you mentioned God and everything. So it's called On This Christmas Day, and I'll send it up to Amy in heaven, the memory of Amy Holly Newberry Fouquet. Snow falls round the manger, love melts it away. Greet the host of angels on this Christmas Day. When the lambs start speaking as they kneel down to pray, you'll find the peace you're seeking on this Christmas Day. Hallelujah, sings the choir. Hallelujah, come what may. Hallelujah, every hour of Christmas Day. Hear three royal strangers sing of a star obeyed, shielded from all danger on this Christmas Day. From the east they travel, a message to convey. The mysteries unravel on this Christmas Day. Hallelujah, sings the choir. Hallelujah, come what may. Hallelujah, every hour of Christmas Day. See the precious infant made from holy clay. Oh, what a lovely present on this Christmas Day. With just the perfect mother to guide him on his way. A baby like no other on this Christmas Day. You know it. Hallelujah, sings the choir. Hallelujah, come what may. Hallelujah, every hour of Christmas Day. Hallelujah, sings the choir. Hallelujah, come what may. Hallelujah, every hour of Christmas Day. Halalu, about the Festival of Lights and the miracle of the 8 days. And we'll follow that up with a gentle admonition, a song called Remember the Poor. And then we'll break into a good old fiddle tune called Jimmy in the Swamp, because how can you not play a fiddle tune called Jimmy in the Swamp? It's Christmas after all. Honey road, honey road, honey road, hallelujah. Honey road, honey road, honey road, hallelujah. Anumadli King, Anumadli King. Honey road, hallelujah, Hanumadli King. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, by this light remember. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, by this light remember when we lived in peace, when we lived in peace, by this light remember when we lived in peace. Cold winter is coming, there's frost in the air, the beautiful summer is past. Flowers are all dying that once were so fair, their fragrance is gone with the blast. The tops of the mountains are covered with snow, the north wind blows under your door. If you are able to pay what you owe, it's time to remember the poor. Cold winter is coming, his cold, icy breath is whistling through mountain and dale. All nature he'll touch with the finger of death and lock up the earth with his spell. He will laugh at the needy and mock at the poor as widely he opens their door. So try to spare something, a mite every day, a blessing will seem to the poor. Cold winter's coming, where plenty abounds. Your dance and your songs will be heard. With mirth and with music, your halls will resound, and many will bow at your word. Then remember the poor, let their hearts be made glad by something you spare from your store. It will nourish the feeble and cheer up the sad. Be sure to remember the poor. my little tribute to John Doyle. That's as much fun as you can have playing rhythm guitar in the whole world. One of the things, just about the first time I ever met April, I realized one of the reasons why we were going to get on so well and play well together is that we both honor and love tradition and the traditions that we come from. And when we put our program together, we always think about where we've come from before we know where we're going. And so a big thing for us in our holiday show is the traditions that we grew up with. And if you look at what we're doing here, this is what a Verch family Christmas would be, dancing and singing and being together. Same with the Newberrys, although the Newberrys also, starting probably with my great-grandfather, I know my grandfather and my father and myself, reading out loud on Christmas Eve. Yes. And so not all, but most of Christmas Carol and Dylan Thomas's A Child's Christmas in Wales. My favorite thing to read was O. Henry's The Gift of the Magi. But as kids get older and cell phones become more prominent and attention spans wane, I decided I would try and take as many direct quotes from O. Henry's Gift of the Magi and write a song. And I figured that anybody can sit still for 3 minutes, 55 seconds. So we shall do it. And April made it just right when she said, hey, I would like to sing the woman's part in this song. And I said, that will make it perfect. And so the song is called Della and Jim. Are you ready, Della?
I am ready, Jim.
All right. It starts exactly like O. Henry wrote so many years ago. $1.87. Della counted again. The next day would be Christmas, and nothing for her Jim. These foolish, sweet young lovers had little wealth to share. Just two things as we will discover: his watch and her long hair.
She'd seen the watch fob every day atop the jeweler's shelf, but $20, how could she pay? Della asked herself.
And then it hit her all at once as she stared in the looking glass. Her hair, her own inheritance, no time to let time pass.
So out the door to sell her fame, and up a flight of stairs. Cut it quick, she told Madame, and soon it was not there.
With $20 in her hand, she found the jewelry store, bought the gift there for her Jim, then to their little flat once more. Then there he stood, her handsome Jim, but with the strangest stare. The only words she heard from him, "Have you cut off your hair?" He held out a box with a slow, sad smile and bade her look inside. She saw within 2 shining combs for your long hair, my sweet bride.
She said it doesn't matter much, and held out her gift for him, and beckoned for his good old watch. Let's see how it looks, Jim.
Tell the sweet, my watch is gone. I sold it for your combs. Let's put our gifts up, dinner's on. I'm hungry, aren't you, hon? Oh, who love and who believe they are the wisest ones. Those who give and who receive the Magi they become.
We're gonna pass the hat. So now it seems like
Come gather round the Christmas tree. Snow is falling in the yard, fires burning bright. The smiles of our neighbors are such a welcome sight. Mama's rolling out the dough for gingerbread men. Smell the cider on the stove, it's Christmas time again. Get out the store, get out the lights, we're gonna trim the tree tonight. Decorate memories, come gather round the Christmas tree. We'll open up the boxes with our treasures inside. There's the angel's sister May, the year great-grandma died. My first Christmas ornament and a candy cane of beads. A reindeer made of walnuts and flowers with pumpkin seeds. Get out the store, get out the lights, we're gonna trim the tree tonight. Decorate memories, come gather round the Christmas tree. Dad'll put the star on top, the only thing store-bought. Set the extra chairs out, we'll need everyone we've got. Time to play a couple tunes and sing my favorite songs. All around the Christmas tree where everyone belongs. Get out the star, get out the lights, we're gonna trim the tree tonight. Decorate memories, come gather round the Christmas tree. Get out the star, get out the lights, we're gonna trim the tree tonight. Decorate memories, come gather round the Christmas tree.
Our dear friend John McCutcheon wrote one of the greatest Christmas songs ever. Damn it, he wrote it in 20 minutes. Not fair. It's a true story, and Bill Monroe would say that the best stories and best songs are true songs. The narrator is Francis Tolliver, and he was not a real person, but everything else was real. And it's about the Christmas truce of 1914 on the front lines of World War I. It's called Christmas in the Trenches. My name is Francis Tolliver. I come from Liverpool. 2 years ago, the war was waiting for me after school. From Belgium and to Flanders, to Germany to here, I fought for king and country I love dear. Christmas in the trenches, where the frost so bitter hung. The frozen fields of France were still, no Christmas songs were sung. Our families back in England were toasting us that day. They're brave and glorious lads so far away. I was lying with my messmates on the cold and rocky ground, when across the line of battle came a most peculiar sound. Says I, now listen up me boys, each soldier's trained to hear, as one young German voice rang out so clear. He's singing bloody well, you know, my partner says to me. Soon, one by one, each German voice joined in harmony. The cannons rested silent, the gas clouds rolled no more, as Christmas brought us respite from the war. And after they were finished and a reverent pause was spent, God rest ye merry gentlemen struck up some lads from Kent. The next they sang was Silly Night. It's Silent Night, says I, and in two tongues one song filled up the sky. There's someone coming toward us, the front line sentry cried. All sights were fixed on one lone figure coming from their side. His truce flag like a Christmas star shone on that plain so bright, as he bravely stepped unarmed into the night. One by one, on either side, stepped into no man's land, with neither gun nor bayonet. We met there hand to hand. We shared some secret brandy and we wished each other well. And in a flare-lit soccer game, we gave them hell. We traded chocolates and cigarettes and photographs from home. Sons and fathers far away from families of their own. Young Sanders played his squeeze box. They had a violin, this curious and unlikely band of men. Soon daylight stole upon us. France was France once more. With sad farewells, we each began to settle back to war. But the question haunted every heart that beat that wondrous night. Whose family have I fixed within my sights? Christmas in the trenches, where the frost so bitter hung. The frozen fields of France were warmed as songs of peace were sung, and the walls they kept between us to exact the work of war had been crumbled and were gone forevermore. Francis Tolliver, in Liverpool I dwell. Each Christmas come since World War I, well, I've learned my lessons well, that the ones who call the shots won't be among the dead and lame, and on each end of the rifle we're the same.
Passing the hat, we will be passing the tissues. Well, we're going to do another medley of tunes, and then we'll take a short break. We'll give you a chance to stretch. Eric mentioned that we have some CDs here. We wanted to let you know that we have one CD, which is the first project that we recorded together, and it's an actual CD. But our holiday recording isn't a CD. There are some beautiful pieces of framed artwork back there. The art is from our friend Martha Kelly in Memphis. And on the back, when you open up the frame, is a download code to download the music. So it's a little bit different, and we know some people don't love technology, but if you have an 8-year-old neighbor, they can come over and help you, and it's not too complicated. But that's the story, and people sometimes look at the frames and wonder what that's all about. But we'll be back there, and even if you don't want to look at any of that, we'd love to say hey.
That's right. Well, this is one of my favorite things to play with April. It sort of has a couple of U.S. tunes and a couple of Canadian tunes, and I just like having that be pretty fun.
You just like playing clawhammer banjo on the old-time Canadian tunes.
It's really fun. It's really fun. Get that pretty little girl. Well, thank you so much. We'll quote our dear friend Jim Watson, who's doing a show of his own tonight in Durham. We'll quote Jim by saying, "We're going to take a 5-minute break for 10 minutes. We'll see you in 20." And we were putting together a new song for a holiday cheer tour a couple of years ago, and I realized, and I thought about the fact that I have turned into my dad. Fellas, back me up.
Yes. Yep.
And does this sound familiar, ladies? I don't need anything. I don't want anything. Yeah. It makes buying for me. It makes the girls crazy. My girls crazy. So I sort of mudged up Betty, and the fact that I am impossible to buy for. Yeah, they've got the heat.
It says it's off.
It just takes a minute to turn on.
Probably just takes a
The
minute.
brain hasn't gotten, the message hasn't gotten from the brain to the body yet.
Folks, we'll say that if that is the worst thing that happens to us tonight, that's going to be all right, don't you think?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, I'll do this in honor of Betty and all of the long-suffering people who live with folks who are hard to buy for. At Christmas time, I realize I've turned into my dad. Shopping for me always seems to make my children mad. They roll their eyes when I tell them I don't need a single thing. So they wrote to Santa and they told him about how I love to sing. On Christmas Eve I read to them from good old Clement Moore and his visit from St. Nicholas and presents by the score. I tucked them in and I sat down in my chair there by the fire, and I dozed until I heard what sounded like a Christmas choir. An envelope was on my lap and the cookies all were gone. A note addressed to me said, "Hope you like your Christmas song. Your children tell me that you are a man with everything. So your Santa present this year is the gift of yodeling. Santa brought me a yodel for Christmas. He brought it on his sleigh. Sleigh. Santa brought me a yodel for Christmas, so I can yodel Christmas Day. Thank the kids for sending the best letter ever sent. I ran through the house that morning, I yodeled everywhere I went. I ran outside and I yodeled up into a clear blue sky, which made my neighbors shout, thanks, you just made the baby cry. I yodeled high, I yodeled low, I yodeled every I yodeled once, I yodeled twice, and then I yodeled three. I yodeled like old Slim Whitman and the sons of the pioneers. I yodeled through some laughter, and I yodeled through some tears. 2-syllable Christmas words began to spring to mind. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, all of those worked fine. Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, all of those worked too. But the best of all was a Rudolph singing, yodelay-hoo. Yodel with me. Santa brought me a yodel for Christmas. He brought it on his sleigh. Let her go. Santa brought me a yodel for Christmas, so I can yodel Christmas Day. Oh, holy night, shine down on me.
You were much more ambitious with your yodeling than they were last night.
Oh, I will tell you, I mean, we love every audience is different. We love every audience, but I will tell you that here is how they yodel in Catawba County, North Carolina.
It's a pretty good depiction.
So thank you very much.
We only have a couple of rules in our duo because we get along really well, but when Joe was working up that song and, you know, memorizing the words and making sure that everything fit, he used to like to warm up his yodeling in the car. And that became a rule. That is not allowed.
So what do they say?
It's too small of a race.
It's like they say, it's just science. To not. Now that we have cell phones and that have recording functions on them, that's made life for songwriters much easier. Used to be when I would drive, and I drive a lot, I would drive and I would write songs and call in a verse to my answering machine. And if Susan heard the phone ring a bunch of times, she'd know that I was calling in a song from the road. And so this is one of those songs. I wrote this between Charlotte and Durham. And I love telling an old story a new way. So this is called Little Baby in a Manger.
And you noticed my sparkly shoes. These have sandpaper on the bottom instead of metal tabs, so that's the scoop.
Joseph and Mary were traveling on the road to Davidstown when the heavenly host began to sing and the love came tumbling down. Little baby in a manger, a little baby being born. Little baby's no stranger travelers were denied. There was no room at the inn, but the innkeeper proved sanctified. He said the stable's free, oh my friends, little baby in a manger, little baby being born. A little baby's no stranger on this Christmas morn. Now Mary, being a great with child, cried, Joseph, let's agree. She said, this baby's near. And then she smiled, he will be born to set us free. Little baby in a manger, a little baby being born. A little baby's no stranger on this Christmas morn. At midnight, the cattle and lowly sheep, they all speak in human tongues. What will their glorious message be? The Messiah's time has come. Little baby in a manger, little baby being born. A little baby's no stranger on this Christmas morn. Go shout it from the mountainsides and the valleys near and far. A little baby is coming to be our guide, and the sign is yonder star. Little baby in a manger, a little baby being born. A little baby's no stranger on this Christmas morn. Little baby in a manger, a little baby's being born. A little baby's no stranger on this Christmas morn. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's time for me to sit on this adorable tiny chair and change my shoes now.
All right.
I'm
All
very
right.
excited about it, actually.
So here's a photo opportunity that'll have to go on the tour diary. I don't know if everybody has one of these uncles. I was lucky enough to have my Uncle John. And Uncle John was a rascal. And he always had a twinkle, and he loved me and I loved him. And on Christmas Eve at the farm, when I would be down with Uncle John and Aunt Joyce, I spent a lot of Christmas Eves with them. And Uncle John would tell the story about how at midnight the animals kneel down to welcome baby Jesus and speak in human tongues. And let me tell you what, I was hot to see it. Every year, he'd say, about 11 o'clock, he'd say, well, come on, boy, let's go out and see if they talk. So we'd go out, and I never saw it, not once. I fell asleep every time. And, sometimes, I write songs all the time. I write a lot of songs. This next piece is just, it's a poem, it's a recitation. But April wrote one of the most beautiful tunes to go behind it. And so I'll recite, and she will play Uncle John and the Christmas Miracle. Christmas Eve when I was young, Uncle John would tell the story that animals use human tongues to share the Christ child's glory. I had to lobby hard to stay up late to watch the beasts all kneeling, with midnight tales of love, not hate, and words of hope revealing. We'd head to the barn around 11 to check on any early speaking, awaiting messages from heaven and wise ones who were seeking. I'd make a little bed of hay, the livestock softly lowing, and with heavy eyes I'd hear John say, "I'll wake you from the knowing." And then a gentle shake I'd feel to wake me from my dreaming. It was time for the reveal, to watch that love light beaming. I'm sorry, boy, we missed the sight. I guess we both were sleeping. But we'll try again next Christmas night, while shepherds watch we're keeping.
This is another song that I wrote with Linda Dawson, and we were inspired to write something about the first Christmas tree. And we were doing some research. There are many accounts and versions of the first Christmas tree, but one that really touched us was the story of Martin Luther, and there's a lot out there. There are stories and accounts and paintings about it, about him being out taking a long walk on a cold night under the stars and trying to think of a way to make Christmas really meaningful for his children that year, bringing in a little tree and setting it on a table so that they could all see it. And we came across some words that he had written with no melody at the time. Later, we kind of pieced it all together, but we decided to take the words that he had written and use them with our melody for the chorus of this song. So this is called Martin Luther's Tree. First Christmas tree was tall and proud and green. It stood on a tabletop so all the kids could see. A gift from their father, it filled them with delight. Kept the cold and dark at bay with candles burning bright. Father said in wintertime, when things are brown and dry, these branches green and full of life, help keep our faith alive. Candles burn just like the star that led the wise men to the king. Then he sat the children down and taught them all to sing. Good news from heaven, the angels bring. Good tidings to the earth they sing. Unto us this day a child is born, to crown us with the joys of heaven. Unto us this day a child is born, to crown us with the joys of heaven. Now that I am a mother, I can see it in their eyes, the excitement and the joy when our Christmas tree arrives. They stare up at the star as I tell them about the night God sent His Son to earth below to bring us hope and light. Good news from heaven the angels bring, glad tidings to the earth they sing. Unto us this day a child is born, to crown us with the joys of heaven, to crown us with the joys of heaven. Well, we're going to do a banjo and feet duet for you next. We were doing some workshops this morning with a bunch of kids and telling them about this tradition, and that, you know, they were asking questions, and I was saying, if you recognize something in this step dance style, you're probably right, because it has a lot of influences. But the story I was always told when I was growing up is that it originated in the lumber camps, the logging camps, and my teacher was Buster Brown. Buster and Pauline Brown taught in a different town in the Ottawa Valley 5 nights a week, taught thousands of kids to step dance. And Buster's teacher was Donnie Gilchrist, and he worked in the logging camps, had a little bit of tap dance training, and was able to take what he saw being shared and sort of put it into a formula that could be taught and passed along. But in the valley, the Algonquin people were there first, and the immigrants that came and settled there were Irish, Scottish, German, Polish, and French. And so they shared what they remembered from their homelands, and we ended up with this great mishmash. So.
I love playing banjo to April's dancing, you know, and around here, you know, if you've been to any street fair or festival in North Carolina, you've seen clogging done. Those are done in routines. The thing I love about watching and playing with April is that she's dancing the tune. So she'll hear something that I play and she'll dance it, and I'll hear something in a step that she's doing and I'll try to match that. I love it. So we'll play a little bit of Mississippi Sawyer, but before that we'll play a little bit of Backstep Cindy from Surrey County, North Carolina.
glad the heat shut off in time.
You know, it looks so pretty in here, and and I love driving around and seeing all the Christmas lights. And I will tell you that and I face this myself from time to time. The holidays, as beautiful as they are, they can also be just about the hardest time of the year for a lot of people. Merle Haggard was a very wise man when he wrote, "If we make it through December." So I thought about this for a while, and I used to tell people this. I said, be kind to everybody you meet. You don't know what they're going through, and the holidays can wrap sadness in a pretty bow. So I wrote a song about that. One, two, three, 1, 2. For some folks, there are dark days in December. So here's a favor I'll ask you to remember. Be extra kind to everyone you know, because the holidays can wrap sadness in a pretty bow. It's good to spread your cheer, but it can be such a hard time of the year. When you ask, "Are you okay?" it's not a simple yes or no. When the holidays wrap sadness in a pretty bow. These happy golden days can feel like old cliches. Sometimes the white Christmas is just a foot of snow. Hidden costs are often paid when silent night turns to silent days, and the holidays wrap sadness in a pretty bow. Marley was right. Mankind is our business. So consider those who live blue Christmas. Those angels heard on high can still fly low. When the holidays wrap sadness in a pretty bow. You can be the present just by being present, to lend an ear. Oh, it can be heaven sent. That's a perfect gift you can bestow. When the holidays wrap sadness in a pretty bow. These happy golden days can feel like old cliches. Sometimes white Christmas is just a foot of snow. Hidden costs are often paid when silent night turns to silent days, and the holidays wrap sadness in a pretty bow. Oh, the holidays wrap sadness in a pretty bow. Well, it's hard to believe, but our time with you is almost at an end.
Oh,
But before we do, we want to say thank you to Chuck, and we want to say thank you to Martha back there selling the merchandise, and to Zane and Addie and to Eric Bannon for bringing us in. How about a hand for all of those folks? Now, you don't know it, and don't you get the big head, but I talk about y'all when I travel around, and I say there's this great place. It's a little jewel in Chatham County, and so next time you come to a program here, grab a couple of friends and make a donation so the Bynum store can continue and do the great work that they do. We're going to break up Christmas right now. Hooray, Jay. Hooray, John. Breaking up Christmas. Way back yonder, long time ago, the old first nation outside door. Hooray, Jay. Hooray, John. Breaking up Christmas all night long. Hooray, Jake, hooray, John, breaking up Christmas right straight along. Oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my. Week in the middle of the creek, I saw old Santa Claus washing his feet. Hooray, Jake! Hooray, John! Breaking up Christmas all night long. Way back yonder, long time ago, the old folks danced the ghost side door. Hooray, Jake! Hooray, John! Breaking up Christmas all night long.
Well, because we know you're a choir, why don't we end with one more and do it all together? Are you still up for that? Yeah.
Savior.